What's going on? Welcome back to my studio and welcome back to a new video. I hope you're doing well today. What I want to show you is something that I've learned that I actually picked up as I was like exploring how to nicely and easily compose some Afro house. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with creating like some drums. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to load in an ultra beat machine, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a MIDI region like that, and I'm just going to loop this MIDI region just like that. So it's just like one bar, because I'm just gonna make like a loop. So I'm gonna open the piano roll like this so I can see all of this stuff. Okay, let me raise my tempo to like 123. Okay, I like that. I like how that's sounding already. I think I'm gonna move this over here. So I just threw in this noise here. So I think I'm gonna throw in a cymbal. Let me try the other cymbal here. Okay, maybe I can use that other cymbal. I can just raise these up. Okay, so I think that sounds good already. And now what I can do is I can go into my samples and I can drop in a kick. So I'm gonna go into kicks. I think this kick would be fine. I can just drop it in right here. And I'm gonna make sure that the gain is all the way high. Okay, and then I'm gonna zoom in, because what I wanna do is I don't want this kick to be too long. So I'm just gonna trim it like this. Nah, maybe that's a bit too short. Yeah, I think that's good enough. Okay, so one thing I'm noticing about my kick is that I need to fade it out. So I'm just gonna do this and fade it out like that, because I heard that it was kind of clicking a little bit. And I know that reverb is a bit much, so I'm just gonna drop it down to like 10%. And then I can just high cut it a little bit and play around with the low cut. I think that's good enough. Okay, so now for the thing that I've learned when it comes to making Afro house. So when it comes to Afro house, what I've learned is that you want to figure out what your root note is for the track that you want to pick, and then you move on from there. If I go into my samples here, I do have an Afro run wave file that I did like just render out just as a wave file, which sounds like this. It's in the note A, so it's an A note, so it just makes me know exactly what root note I'm working on. So let me show you how I can do this, and I can apply this to this kind of track. So what I can do is I can throw in like a ES2 right there. So then I need to decide what kind of root note do I wanna pick. So I can pick like a D like that. So that can be my root note, right? So now let me go look for a sound. Maybe I can pick this funk pulse lead. I can just pick that right there, and then I can just start putting in the notes. And then what I want to do now is I want to play around with the sound and just kind of filter the sound out. So I'm just going to turn it down because it's a tad loud. So now that I've set up my root note, I kind of have an idea of where the direction of where my track is gonna go. So I have a root note. So it's the same as, let's say, if you're making other styles of house, you create like your drone note, just so that you can make sure that you kind of have an idea in your mind of the direction you want to go. I don't know if that makes sense, but to me it makes sense. Let me know if it makes sense down below. Then what you can do now is you can work on maybe some chords or something like that. And I can also layer them as well, so I can just copy this down here to this other sound. You can also like layer different types of keyboard sound. When it's just the Yamaha grand piano alone, it sounds just basic, like anyone can have the sound and anyone can make the sound. But if I layer it with this classic electric piano, it sounds like this. And another layer you can also add is also layering it with some strings. So listen to that. That sounds good. Another thing that I also like is that I can throw in a bass now that I know what my root note is. So bass will be super easy for me to throw in. And then now what I can do at this point is then I can maybe try and throw in another sound so I can use it to create like a melody. Let's try this glockenspiel. And I can send it to my reverb. So I'm gonna send it to this large hall here, and then I'm just gonna increase it like that so that it sounds like this. Maybe a bit more. And another thing you can also do with these sounds is you can also layer them as well. So I'm gonna add another instrument here. So what I'll do is I'll throw in not a sculpture. I can throw in maybe a retro synth. So I'm gonna go on delay and add a stereo delay. Listen to that, that sounds good, bro. But I want this delay to be a little bit more intense than this. So maybe I can change the timing to an 1/8 dotted. Yeah, I like this dotted. And maybe I can increase the feedback to like 50%, like that. Oh, listen to that. And I can drop down the glockenspiel sounds because it's a little bit more powerful and it's a little bit more, I don't know, it's super sharp in the track. So there you have it. Now I have a nice track idea for Afro that I've composed. Try and figure out what your root note is, and you can let me know down below what's your favorite root note that you like to use in your music, because most of us most commonly use the same root note over and over again. If your music keeps sounding the same, maybe you might want to try out a different root note. So if you're starting on a D, then you might want to change to another note and then just try maybe a B or a C, or and just keep going like that, or a G or something like that. I hope this video makes sense. If it does, make sure to drop this video a like and also subscribe for more videos. If you have any questions, drop them down below. If you want sample packs and presets, make sure to check out the links down below in my store, and I'll see you in my next video. I'm X and I'm out. Peace.